The Super Bowl is in the books, and the NFL season has come to a close, and your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the world champions, and Tom Brady is firmly established as the GOAT of all quarterbacks. We're also going to go to the AFC North and hear from some super fans as they prognosticate about the upcoming season and hate on each other a little bit. And as a reminder, it's Valentines Day this weekend, everybody, so get your heads out of your asses. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned.
Bitches, Bucs Nation Super Bowl champions. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Man, what a ride. What a ride this year. Tom Brady comes down, brings the culture. But before I get started on that, I want to send a quick shout out. Number 47, Johnny Lynch, Hall of Fame, baby. We only got to get 20 in there now. And then our 0-2 defense is in there. How many Hall of Famers are we going to have off of the 2020 defense? There's about 5 there that I'm looking at, but man, what a game. I called it live from Minot, North Dakota, negative 13 degrees. But man, it's hot wherever the Bucs are. Tom Brady's tossing trophies across the water. The Buccaneers are the greatest team in football. Man, I'm watching that game, and like everybody else, just waiting for the Mahomes magic to come. The Mahomes magic is coming. Here it comes. No, the defense stopped it. Just like I said, you have to run the ball. They weren't going to let them pass. And what did we do? We stuffed the pass. Our front 4 guys put pressure on Mahomes, and he was running around like he didn't know what was going on. People putting him in the Hall of Fame. No, not after that performance. The Buccaneers brought it. As a Bucs fan for decades now, to see where this team came from and to where it is now. Our team was solid. We had to bring one guy in. One guy. We needed the GOAT. The GOAT came down. He brought his passion. He brought his winning ways. And he brought a Super Bowl to Tampa Bay. Had tears in my eyes that night, not going to lie. Celebrating with my boys. They weren't too happy. Those Vikes fans were up 2-0 now on the Vikes if you're counting rings. But what a night. What a night. I watched the game again about 12:30. Don't remember much of it. I was pretty feeling good, but I watched the game again in just awe of what Todd Bowles, how is he not a head coach? Come on, guys. How is he not a head coach? Byron Leftwich, great game plan. Gronk with his tutties, 2 tutties. What a great game, guys. I don't even know. All I can say is we fired the cannons, and they're going off again next year because we're coming back. We're bringing them back, and we're going to do it twice. It's going to be twice as nice. Thanks, boys. Out.
Guys, we're going to cut right to it because we have a packed show. We already heard from Bucs Nation as they gloated for their Super Bowl win, and we got a packed AFC North conversation coming up because you know what? They had 3 playoff teams, and they deserve that. But let's talk about the here and the now. Tampa Bay, they are Super Bowl champions. And, guys, we all were riding the Chiefs, right? Or was Biggie riding the Bucs?
I was all over the Bucs.
See, I didn't
like the regular season.
He was. I didn't have the confidence to do so. You know, I wanted to. I was internally having this dialogue, and I couldn't do it. But it wasn't the fact that the Bucs just won. We said that if anybody blew anybody out, it would be the Chiefs. Biggie, even you said that.
Yep. I thought if there was going to be a blowout, it had to be the Chiefs over the Bucs. I was surprised that the Bucs won by 22 points.
It was a massacre. I mean, it was one-sided from almost the second quarter to the end, right?
Yeah, we kept watching it. We kept waiting for that turning point. Like, here's where the Chiefs turn it around. It just never came. And then I read a stat after the game. Patrick Mahomes, he's running for his life the whole game.
Every play.
I read a stat that he rushed for over 500 yards while he was scrambling.
It says like a record, right? Yeah. Not a Super Bowl record, but like of any game, I think.
And both tackles were out, correct?
Yeah, well, one has been out all year.
Since week 5.
Yeah, but the other one, was out in the championship game. Yeah. But we were sitting here watching it, and we were just saying, just watch the left tackle. And he was just getting his breakfast handed to him every single snap.
Well, you got to give Tampa Bay's defense credit there because they had the guys to bring it and make that loss of the tackles or, Fisher.
They exposed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so let me ask you guys this real quick because we've seen this from a ton of people. Are the refs to blame for any of this at all?
No. Man, we talked about that during the game. Mr. Brown even said those 2 drives where calls could have went Kansas City's way. Say you give them a touchdown, they were still down a touchdown.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at though with the culture now? As a culture,
Yeah.
If something we don't like happens, we just blame the refs. And I hear that as a WVU fan. We lose. It's usually because we can't hit free throws,
Right.
And we do something stupid down the stretch.
Right.
But I mean, come on.
I really try to reserve blaming the refs for anything. Like the only time I can really say like for WVU is like the Villanova game in the Sweet 16 a couple years ago. The refs took that game over. But outside of that, I can't tell you another time. But fans are like that in any sport,
Any game now.
Well, here's the way I look at it. If you're a Chiefs fan, you were going to stay in your set offense, not leave an extra tight end to chip or anything like that, running back out of the backfield and block them. By the time you get to halftime, you realize that isn't working. You need to change something.
They made no adjustments. And the only thing I'll say about the refs, I'll give them this, that a lot of the calls they might have let go in some other playoff games, but they were still calls. It was calls that would have been in the regular season. So, but
penalties.
But it's the officials, and the officials. You knew who was calling this game. You know how they're going to call the game. So you plan as much for the officials as you do the opponent sometimes.
But they can say what they want to. You look at when Tampa Bay got stuffed on the goal line, then Kansas City has to punt. The first one they get called for holding. It was a clear holding.
Right.
Second one he shanks. Well, they're right there at about the 40-yard line,
ref's fault.
ready to go in. What's the other one? Tampa Bay's field goal. They get held to a field goal. They kick it. It's good. There's an offsides on like McCole Hardman who's coming off the edge. First play after that, you put Brady back on the field. He hits Gronk for a touchdown. So those are easy, undeniable, not should he have thrown it, should he not have thrown it flags. Look at yourself a little bit.
Because I'll tell you, like some of the defensive holding and stuff like that, I would personally like to see him just play a little bit because it is a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, they called it, and I felt like they were consistent. It's not like it was one-sided. It's just they called what they called.
Right. Did you not hear the rumor, though, about the game strategy from the Chiefs as to why they didn't adjust?
What was that?
I mean, at the end of the day, Andy Reid was pissed because he knew if he went to the White House, there wasn't going to be an all-you-can-eat fast food buffet.
I know, that's out the window now.
So, I mean, he's like, forget it, I'm done. I don't need to adjust the shit.
Yeah, we have seen him holding
I'm stuffing chicken nuggets in my mask. Well, I don't need to go to some
He
White
does
House
hold the Waffle House menu for his play sheet. We've seen that before.
That's what happened.
All right, so let me switch gears real quick. So we could talk about the game forever. The Bucs dominated. Tom Brady was MVP. Do you guys agree that he was the MVP? I mean, it was kind of like one of those things where nobody really stood out too much, but he did have 3 touchdowns.
I feel like he was the MVP because Leonard Fournette, I think Fournette would have got in for that second touchdown.
Yeah.
100 total yards, 2 touchdowns. He's your
He's
MVP.
probably in there, yeah.
Without Brady had 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, played really well. I'll say this. They don't give it to coaches, but if they did, Todd Bowles
Absolutely.
from game 1 against Kansas City in the regular season to this game, that was one of the great performances.
Just from the second
Super
half
Bowl.
of that first game to now, would they outscore him like 58-6 or something like that? It was
Crazy.
stupid. I mean, either way, the defense could have been the collective MVP, but we know defense doesn't win MVP awards. That's just the way it goes.
Well, I read, too, that I guess this is the first time that every coach was African-American on the staff.
Yeah.
First time ever.
And they even had a female somewhere on the staff. I think it's like one of the strength and conditioning coordinators or something like that. So, everybody's going to quit talking about Eric Bieniemy getting held back now, and everybody's going to know why Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich isn't getting any love.
Well,
I think Leftwich just jumped Bieniemy now. So why not give him a job first?
I think they both put themselves in a real good position to be head coaches after next year because maybe Arians retires.
Right. You're going to hold that line hoping you get it right.
You'd think it'd be Leftwich, you would think.
I'll say this about Todd Bowles and what he did on defense. I saw this weird stat where it's the first game Patrick Mahomes has ever started from high school through college to the pros that his offense hasn't scored at least 1 touchdown.
Really?
That's crazy.
He's never been held out of the end zone before in his entire career.
Yep.
How does he not score in the streaker does?
Hey, I know, right?
That
was the real MVP.
Did you hear that, though? Yeah. That's crazy.
That was a hell of a plan.
So next year's Super Bowl.
We know what we're doing.
Who's in it with me?
I got you.
Would Vegas, you think Vegas still pays it out knowing the backstory?
I mean, I don't know.
Have to.
No, they don't have to. I could see them disputing that, to be honest. We need to get our crack research team to see if this happens.
Because, if they knew that was premeditated and he put all that money down, I mean, it's like a shoe-in.
Yeah.
Obviously it is, but. What do they do?
Vegas
Vegas
it
don't
out.
lose.
No, they don't. They always find a way. The house
They'll get it
always
back
wins.
from him one way or another.
All right, so let me ask you guys this: since the game is now decided, and we saw. Well, before I even go into my question, did you see the boat parade?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Okay.
What's wrong with Brady's New England parade versus Tampa Bay's parade? Like two different people.
You know what?
Florida does something
tequila. He was getting that avocado tequila, and like the fact that they're tossing the trophy from boat to boat. I wanted so bad just to have like a scuba team after he covered from the bottom of the bay, but it didn't happen.
I was waiting for do the Gronk spike down into the ocean.
Just something. Now we do know Gronk has damaged a trophy before, right?
Yeah.
With the baseball swing.
Opening day at the Red Sox, he used it to bunt a ball. It's sitting in New England's trophy case with a big dent in it.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, that pass was supposed to go to Gronk, but Cameron Brake caught it on the other boat.
You know what? That's how teammates step up for each other. They take care.
That was game planning. You're going to throw it to the other tight end.
Think about that. You got the Lombardi in your hands. Having a little tequila.
Well, when you
boat.
got 7 of them, it's nothing if you throw it in the lake.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal. But you know what? That boat parade looked fantastic. And watching Tom Brady have to be escorted into somewhere to kind of get his sobriety back, that was phenomenal.
You know what drives me nuts? This is off topic, and I hate to even go there. But Tom Brady does this thing, and of course, Queen James has to chime in and be like, "This is how goats celebrate."
Yeah.
Stop it.
I wish we'd have got to celebrate. I'd have been doing that tequila walk too, or the avocado
He always
walk,
makes it about
Even
himself.
Brady don't say I'm the goat. All he does is play Bad Boys for Life, and he just stares
That's
at
it.
you.
Well, they also had the, did you see the one they made after the game with the Guess Who's Back? Have you seen that one?
Good, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was great. So they had one where they're all just standing there and Brady's flashing the 7, you know, and you see somebody next to him was like counting with his hand. It was fantastic. But, you know, I appreciate Brady's viral videos. And as much as even back when, you know, we want to hate on the Patriots, you got to admit, like those Bad Boys for Life videos.
I enjoyed that.
They were good.
There was one other video I saw that really made me chuckle. I want to see if you guys saw it too. Game's over there in the locker room. Lenny Fournette's hyping up JPP because he had a big game. They had a ton of pressures as the defensive front. And he's like, JPP over here throwing Mahomes to the ground with 8 fingers. And JPP throws his hands up. Nah, I got 7.5.
Hey, he's played better since he lost his digits. You know, he's got better stats at post injury.
Adapt and overcome, man.
That's it, man. Now you got that club and you know, pull Deacon Jones on people or something. I don't know.
I think that Tom Brady game might have made Russell Wilson have to be traded.
Well,
That's a whole nother thing.
Did you hear? I was listening live on the Dan Patrick show when Russ was on there, and you know, Dan pushed the issue and got, I don't know, I almost felt like they had a arrangement before the interview. It's like, I'm going to act like I don't really want to answer this, but I need your help because I need some help in Seattle and they're not bringing me in on this.
Yeah, it felt like it was almost scheduled from Russ's side. And what I heard was he was actually supposed to come on the Sunday or the week before the Super Bowl, but he didn't have time. So it had to be the week after the Super Bowl.
I mean, going back to Tom Brady, you know, he's the reason why Gronk is in Tampa. He was why AB's there.
AB.
You know, so
Leonard
I mean,
Fournette.
yeah, maybe you listen to these guys. Maybe the quarterback, if happy quarterback, happy life, you know, kind of like marriage, I guess. But let me close with this on the Tampa and Super Bowl conversation. So we even tried to bring people on the show today to talk about this. But Brady, where is his legacy at now as far as a winner? Like the conversation's done when it comes to the best quarterback of all time, right?
Yeah, there's no dispute between him and Montana. People want to bring up Montana and they want to throw out the cheating scandals, this and that. But I mean, what is he? 7 out of 10?
Yeah,
7 out of 10.
And Montana, yeah, he's 4-0. But I mean, my God, Montana would even tell you he wishes he was Tom Brady.
I know, right? If you look at like Montana's got more 1-game playoff exits. Brady's got a better winning percentage in the playoffs. Obviously, more Super Bowls, and he's beat like all of his contemporaries.
Do you know that Tom Brady is, I want to say, 1 championship game away from maybe 2 appearances from as many wins as any other quarterback has in the history of the playoffs. So
Like
Montana's
all quarterbacks combined?
No, for Montana's got 16 wins
His
in the playoffs.
playoff wins. Tom Brady's Super
But
Bowl
you just
wins.
said
So
how
he's
many-
going to have more
how many
wins than
one-time
somebody
ex-
has total games.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's been to the championship game as much as anybody else has won games. So that knocks it out. 7 out of 10 in the games they lost. Each one of them, he took his team down the field for the lead. Defense gave it up. they scored less than they should have in some of them, but 7 out of 10 with the way that he has played in every game he's been in, or 4-0?
I'm just going to say I think Tom Brady is the greatest winner of the past 40 years. Like, you can make the argument for Jordan, and I get that. I'd like to have seen Jordan not, leave for gambling in baseball or whatever it may be. And you could talk about Bill Russell, but the NBA only had 8 to 10 to maybe 12 teams at the time. All that doesn't take anything away from these guys. But Tom Brady has done this in an era with salary cap restrictions and has done it in multiple decades. Like, at 3 different decades, he's won a title.
Here's the thing Brady's done that he doesn't get enough credit for. In New England, Bill Belichick, he puts a team around him. Why was he able to put a team around him? Brady consistently took less money to have better
because
players.
His wife is rich.
She does make, bunches and
like
bunches
they say
of money.
In Brazil, it's just Giselle's husband.
That isn't why he did it. He wanted to win. When he went to Tampa Bay, he could have went anywhere else, maybe got a little more money. Goes to Tampa Bay, knows ahead of time that they'll take his influence, let him coach a little. What would BA keep saying? Thing they wouldn't do in New England's let Tom coach. There's times I just sat back. I let him do his thing.
Yeah.
He told me he didn't need to throw on a Thursday. His elbow was a little sore. I said, I don't care, Tom. You don't need to throw. They let him be him. Of all the players in the history of the NFL, who is the biggest impact? They hadn't been to the playoffs in 13 years.
I'm going to cut you off. It's not the NFL. Can you name another athlete that has that much influence over the entire organization? So he just is a quarterback. He only plays offense. But, like, he impacts every level, the offense, the defense, the special teams, the front office. Like, it's ridiculous. And he goes in there, and you don't hear any stories about it. Like, every year you hear about Aaron Rodgers and somebody not getting along, whether it be a coach or a coordinator or another player or whatever. You don't ever hear that out of Brady. Like, he's like that quiet respect. He just comes in, demands it, and people react to it. And you have to, because the proof is in the pudding, right? It always happens. He always wins.
I feel like the winning culture just rubs off, and it's just like that.
It's contagious.
The whole atmosphere changes as soon as he walks into the room.
He went to a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in how many years?
13-07's last time they were in.
Right. And like, they were not a playoff team last year. And don't get me wrong, they had 4 guys on there that were big contributors that weren't there last year. But why were they on the team this year? Because of Brady. I'm just saying, like, greatest winner in the history of the NFL as far as I'm concerned. And I don't care who you are. I have not been a Brady fan. Like, I'm just telling you the reality. It is what it is. You can't change my mind.
Hello, ladies.
Here at We Don't Know Sports, we love all of our fans, but especially our lady fans. For all you jackasses out there that screwed up this Valentine's Day, it's not too late.
That's right, as Mr. Brown just said, the perfect symbol of love. Stevens classic red roses picked at the height of its beauty, preserved and trimmed in 24-karat gold. That's right, these roses will last forever, and they come delivered in a signature gift box with their own personalized message. Display them year-round, so if you screwed up this Valentine's Day, don't worry, your savior is IHateStevensinger.com. IHateStevensinger.com will fix your snafu on this Valentine's Day by making up for it and giving her roses that will last forever. Right now, you can get a special deal for $59.95. Make sure you mention We Don't Know Sports in the comments. What is up? We Don't Know Sports Nation. Now is the time that we ask fans all across the world to take off the filter, rip off the Band-Aid, and tell everyone exactly what is on their mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for No Filter. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with our No Filter segment, and you know what? Even though the Super Bowl's decided and Tampa Bay is flaunting everything right now, we went to 3 teams who made the playoffs last year. The AFC North is extremely balanced. Would you say that, Mr. Brown?
I feel like it's the toughest division in football.
It might be the toughest division of football. Now, me as a Bengals fan, I got no place in this argument.
It don't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter what I think. So we went to the teams that actually made the playoffs, or we're rebuilding because that's what we do. So we go to the Browns, we go to the Ravens, we go to the Steelers. We got Nick from Ravens Nation, Ray from Steelers Nation, and Bobby from the Browns. I'll just call him Bobby Brown. Is that fair enough? So we'll start with Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Man, I got
to represent the Cleveland Browns good tonight.
I see that. We got the Beckham jersey and stuff spread out. We appreciate that. I got to ask you, Just what are your thoughts? Like, it's been a long time coming for Cleveland. How did you feel about this past season?
It's the best season I've seen my whole life that I can remember that I can cheer for. I was around in the early days, and I've been back since '99 with the team, and this has been our season. This has been where we started to turn around. It all started up front in the front offices and the coaching staff, the dedication from our players to buy in, and we're bought in. And it showed, and we're back, and we're here, and this is our division.
So you're back in the. So you're saying you were wait. Everybody's laughing at the Browns, but I got to ask you. So were you a Browns fan pre Tim Couch? Were you like Bernie Kosar and Ernest Bonner and in on all that?
The fumble, the drive, I was there.
I respect that, man. All right, let's kick it over. So the Browns eventually became the Ravens. The Ravens got a couple Super Bowls since then. How you feel about last season, man? You got Lamar. You got a reigning MVP. Things didn't work out all the way for you this year, but how do you feel about 2020?
Okay, first, I just want to say congratulations to Bobby on having an off season without a new coach and a new front office. That's a good step forward. So, yeah, you guys are going in the right direction. So congratulations on that. We had an up and down season. We got hit COVID harder than other team in the league, kind of got that playoff monkey off our back. So we got all in all, it was good. We would have liked to have gone a little farther. It was a tough loss against the Bills. We should have been able to beat them, and who knows what would happen with the Chiefs. But overall, we like the direction we're going in. Been in playoffs 3 straight years, league MVP, 2 division titles in the last 3 years. So we like where we're at.
All right, it sounds like eternal optimism. So let's switch gears and go to the Steelers, who you have a quarterback who's in the waning twilight of his career. So the Steelers, they started undefeated, then they didn't look like they were undefeated anymore. They kind of fell off the wagon, but they still made the playoffs. So how do you feel about the 2020 year as far as the Steelers go, Ray?
Well, it was half and half for the simple fact that, we started out 11-0, fellas, and all of a sudden, of course, the wheels fell off with the running game. When we lost to the Redskins, I still call them Redskins.
That's okay.
We do too.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. And Chase Young said, that the Ratbirds exposed us, no running game and everything. But just to let the Browns fans and Ravens fans know that Steelers, we are the kings of the AFC North. We're back. Now, even though
come on, bro, you saw the playoff game.
All right, let him talk. Let him talk.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Who won the division?
Hey.
Say it.
Hey, Bobby, it's
Who won the
race time.
division? Who won the division?
Hey, who is this?
And look here. hey, Bobby.
Tell me who that is.
Hey, Bobby. Here's a fact right here. Here's a fact. In the past 19 years, the Steelers have won the AFC North 9 times. Between the 3 of you all, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland, 10 times. So that tells you right there who was top dog. And look here, who's finally starting to turn the corner. But you know what? Y'all beat our asses here. Y'all beat our asses.
How many playoff wins do you guys have in the last 10 years? That's the question. Huh? How many playoff wins do you have in the last 10 years?
Not enough.
That's the question. I want to say the answer is what? 1 or 2? If that.
1 or 2, yeah, 1 or 2. but it's all right.
We at least we've won a Super Bowl. Oh, congratulations on your division titles. Hey, thumbs up.
Sorry. And how many have you been to the past? 10 years? 1, right? 1. But still,
all right, look.
Get the numbers.
Interrupt you guys.
Hey, Bobby.
I ain't been no Super Bowls.
All right, let Ray finish. Let Ray finish.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Jim Brown ain't coming back.
So Jim Brown's not walking through that door.
Hey, Jim Brown ain't coming back. Okay?
Otto Graham ain't walking through that door.
No, but we got this right here.
He's got a Chubb.
I do love Nick Chubb. I got to admit that.
Inner Chubb.
And look at to Cleveland's credit, I talked to a guy who was a diehard Cleveland fan. You know what he said? The problem with Cleveland is they listen to the fans and they change so quick. They change up, so there's no consistency. Now they have the winning combination. The question is, everybody now who they made to the second round, they're going to want some money now. Can Jimmy Haslam pay that money? No, because the quarterback gets the lion's share which we Baker Mayfield, and believe me, he's gonna command the money. Everybody else is gonna get crumbs, and believe me, there'll be some upset people, and they're gonna leave Cleveland. But you know what? You all gonna fall back to the bottom. Baltimore, as far as I'm concerned, to hell with you all.
All right, hang on. Hey, y'all hold the line. We're going to go back. So let me start with the Browns. So we'll go back to Bobby here. What do the Browns need to address in the offseason this year? So you guys didn't quite get it done. You made it through, the first round. You got to Kansas City. You ran into the juggernaut. So what do the Browns got to do to get better?
No doubt, unquestionably, it's our defense. 100%. Our offense is there. We need some more work. They'll get real healthy. Our running game is stellar. Our offensive line is one of the best in the entire league. If we can shore up our defense, all the games we lost this year, we win. So strictly defense, a better relationship with our coaches and players, and Cleveland's unstoppable. It's our time. I'm sorry, the old Browns, I suppose, and we call them squillers down here, but it's our time. It's us. Let us have it for 4 or 5 years, so you can have it back. Let me get one, and I ain't going to call it Vince Lombardi. I'm going to call it a Paul Brown trophy. Let me get one Paul Brown trophy, and you guys can have it back for a couple years. That's all I want. I'll be satisfied.
You all had a world record of 30 first-round picks in the past 10 years, and you finally turned the corner. So it's about damn time y'all showed up. You had 30 first-round picks.
Hey, but we showed up. We're here now. So
0-16, 0-16, 1-15. That's a damn shame.
All right,
11-0 and one and done.
Save that. I'm gonna let you talk trash about him here in a second. So let me switch over. We're gonna go over to Nick over with Ravens Nation. So
I'm glad you got it right this time.
So yeah, no, I didn't screw up. Sorry, Nick. So what are the things the Ravens need to work on in the offseason? How are you guys going to improve? I know there's some issues with the offensive line. You got Orlando Brown out there causing some chaos right now. So what's going to happen in the offseason?
Well, first off, I'm not worried about the offensive line. The Ravens draft and develop offensive linemen good. Jensen, who just snapped the ball to Brady in the Super Bowl, 6th-round pick from the Ravens. Assembly was the highest paid guard, 4th-round pick from the Ravens. So we'll find talent. We'll go ahead, ship Brown out. I wish we can get a Godfather deal like the Texans did, 2 firsts and a second. But we'll ship him out. And then after that, we need to go ahead and we need to lock Lamar up, get him on a decent contract, and then we need to get Allen Robinson on a plane into Baltimore and don't let him leave until he signs.
Ooh, I like that move.
I love Allen Robinson.
Yeah. Get Trubisky not throwing the ball. Yeah. Something might good happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we got to do, and we'll figure it out from there. We not worrying about the division. We got the Browns over there with this generation's Ryan Fitzpatrick and Baker Mayfield. So he'll win you 5 games and have you feeling good about yourself, and then he'll lose you 3 games where he throws 15 interceptions. So and Roethlisberger, please, we not. I'm amazed his arm didn't fall off halfway through the season. So we're not worrying about neither one of them. I actually wish we were talking about the Bengals because at least they had the 2nd best quarterback in the division behind Lamar.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You just got brownie points. I might even give you an extra segment now just because of that. So let me go down to Ray with the Steelers. So, Ray, I'm going to ask you more specifically because Roethlisberger, he's a big cap hit this year, and he pretty much equates to the entire salary cap hit that the Steelers have over the limit right now. So what are the Steelers going to do to address the offseason needs? What do they need to do? And is Roethlisberger for sure coming back?
Ben said he wants to come back, and the big problem is the cap. And so the number one priority is signing T.J. Watt, who is actually the defensive player of the year. Bud Dupree, we got to see about him. I say slap the franchise tag on him for another year to keep him around. So we do have some holes to fill. Our offensive line was kind of banged up. We did have a good pass protection, a good pass block this year. But as far as run block, nobody wanted to move. James Conner can't do it. He just can't.
He killed my fantasy team. I just want you to know that.
Well, he killed mine too. I hate it.
Real good.
So, but the one shining moment for the offense was Chase Claypool, who I picked him up in fantasy league. So he was about a bright moment there.
Did you have him on some of those 3 touchdown games? Because that was ridiculous.
Yes, I did.
I hate
Yes,
you.
I did. When it comes to fantasy football, one of my draft strategies, I always pick a rookie. I always do, because there's one that's going to shine every time. I remember when I first started picking up Dalvin Cook, his rookie year, he shined. So every year I always pick up a rookie. And so this year was Chase Claypool. Next year, I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to say right now, Najee Harris from Alabama.
That's not a big reach. I'm with you there.
I know a guy who drafts just like you.
But it all depends on fit, though. Where does he go?
It does. But, we have a guy in our fantasy league who we've been doing since 1999 that always drafts the rookie no matter what.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Whether it be Dalvin Cook or what's the guy from the Chiefs this year?
He drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire at like the 4th or 5th pick.
4th overall.
Jackass, they don't run the ball.
But you know what's so funny? For Ben to be 30 years old and have a quote-unquote broken down arm, he still was slinging that ball, and he still beat the Ravens' ass twice. So just remember that.
Hey, I have a belief. I have a belief that if Big Ben wouldn't have shaved off his beard, it was like Samson. He would have been okay.
Let Nick give his rebuttal here. What happened, Nick?
First off, I don't know how you think your pass protection is good because you guys throw 2-second routes every time. You can't throw more than 10 yards down the field. So we have no idea how good your pass protection is. Secondly, Ben is like almost 40, and who knows what he's going. And who knows what he's going to do with his cap hit, because we all know he's got a little, some stuff on the financial end that he needs to take care of on the off season. So we all know those things. And then you also got to re-sign Juju this year. You guys are already over the cap. And nobody's worrying about the Steelers.
All right, so real quick before we get into that, because you're already kind of jumping to where the next question was going to go. So honestly, Nick, I want you to save those comments just for a second. So I'm going to swing it back over to the Browns, the dog pound. We'll go back to Bobby. So give me your thoughts, just when you're looking at your opponents here. We're talking about the Ravens and the Steelers. What are your thoughts on where they're at right now? Do they scare you at all, or are they a mess? What are your thoughts on your 2 guys you're talking to here?
All right, let me start with the Pittsburgh fan. And I want to say I respect you. You're a longtime fan. So, and you've been respectful, but you guys are my least of my concerns. It's over with. Pittsburgh's, they're going downhill. We made Ben cry. So it did. I think Ben should retire. I don't think he'll ever be able to come back from that. You guys are just going in the wrong direction. Baltimore, the old Browns. I'm going to call them the old Browns. I've always called them the old Browns. It's the old Browns. So. The old Browns, I heard you say you don't need an offensive line. Lamar Griffith III will not take another year like he just took. It's over with. And then, maybe he can do the RG3 carousel, or you can put his jersey. I put this out just for you, right here, the RG3 jersey, because that's Lamar Jackson if you don't get a line for him next year. Ooh. But that's who I'm concerned about. In Cincinnati. You guys got a team.
I appreciate that, but you don't have to talk about my Bengals right now because they're still a couple years away, so they're not really competing for the title next year. If they do, it's way ahead of schedule.
Let's move on to the next guy.
All right, so let's go over to Bob, or not Bob. Let's talk to Bob. Let's go to Nick over the Ravens. So tell me what your thoughts are on the current Browns and the current Steelers. So how do you feel about them? I know you got a lot to say.
The old Browns.
So first off, Bobby, just a quick question. You spent money on an RG3 jersey? That's not the most Browns thing I've ever heard of. That's not the most Brownsy thing I've ever heard. You guys are just begging and hoping on a thread like a baby on a new mama's tit, just hoping for something good. So, hey, man.
And that's how it's been. And that's how it's been here. All your begging paid off. It's here. We're here
now. Get that Spurgeon win jersey, too.
Like I said, the Browns, you guys feasted on a garbage schedule last year. You played a bunch of last place teams. We all got to play the NFC least last year. This year, you're going to have to play a big boy schedule. You guys are going to have to play the Packers. You're going to have the Steelers.
We're big boys.
by the end of the season, you guys can barely get the ball across midfield. I just don't see any fear of the Steelers. The only team I'm worried about, honestly, is probably the Browns. Y'all probably finish around 9-7, 10-6 again. And you know what? That's good. Second place.
At least we put fear in your heart. That fear is going to turn into real shit very soon.
You know, the only fear you guys put into our heart is when we had to take a shit and then come back on the field and beat y'all in your home.
He definitely took a shit.
That's what happened.
He definitely took a shit.
That is exactly what happened. All right, so hey, real quick, I want to give Nick an opportunity because you were talking about Big Ben.
No, we got Ray here.
Well, real quick before we go off, Nick. So what's all this money Big Ben's got spent in the offseason you were talking about?
Well, we all know that Ben likes to frequent nightclubs and hotels with women, and it doesn't always end the correct. So I'm assuming he needs that $41 million because he's still got some stuff to pay off. So I doubt he's going to take that cap hit or that salary reduction for the Steelers to help him out because he's got expenses.
All right, so
he got bills to pay.
All right, so he's got commitments is what we're saying. Okay, all right, so last but not least, let's swing it back to Ray. Let's go to the Steelers Nation. So tell me what you feel about the Browns and the Ravens.
All right, one thing I feel about the Browns is, hey, Bobby, when I need some toilet paper, give me a jersey, okay? Because I can wipe my ass off for that, okay?
Got that RG3 jersey.
Hey, you're terrible now. You're terrible now. Real meaning. You guys are terrible now.
The Browns, the key is, can the Browns keep this success going? Because, again, the last time that you all beat us was a couple years ago. That was your high moment. And that was it. Y'all went back downhill. So the question is, the thing is, can y'all sustain next year? We shall see. Baltimore, yeah, you're our biggest nemesis, okay? And I'm not taking nothing away from them. When it comes to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, it's a dogfight from start to finish. So our biggest concern is stopping Lamar Jackson. That's it. But again, as far as Cleveland's concerned, if anything, the only three people I'm worried about, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield. Everybody else can go to hell.
Baker Mayfield.
Hey, I know you saw that Pittsburgh fan tear that TV up. You like Baker Mayfield do this to you?
Hey,
yeah, guys.
Now, to assess the Steelers and Big Ben, $41 million hit right now, okay? So I'm not worried about that. One thing about Pittsburgh, they sustain. Here's the thing. They take a little dip, but they'll bounce right back. I mean, it's not going to be a big drop-off like the Browns used to do back in the day. But as far as the Steelers, they always maintain. They will reload. We'll be back. We'll be in the thick of things. I'm not worried about it. Again, we're the kings of the AFC North. So please bow down. Yeah.
All right. So that being said, so we got to hear from all you guys. Let's talk about 2021. So let's start with Cleveland. Give me your prediction for your squad and go ahead and tell me how the Ravens and Steelers are going to finish.
And what's your record?
Yeah, give me specifics.
AFC North champions. I do a modest 11-5, and I believe when we're 0-16, I believe the next year we got a chance. So I think we got a chance to hold the trophy up this year, and that's what I'm sticking to. I think we're unstoppable.
All right, so 11-5, you make a run through the playoffs. What are the Ravens and Steelers finishing?
Oh, the Ravens, I'm going to give respect where respect's due, unless Lamar Griffith, he gets hurt. If he gets hurt early in the season, their season's done. It's over with for him. So if he can stay healthy, they're going to be right up with us. Pittsburgh, it's all bad for Pittsburgh. I'm predicting under 500.
Oh, wow.
No playoff for a couple years. Juju, everybody's going one out of there now. So
okay, so you crap all over the Steelers.
2021.
Cleveland's running with it.
There's no issue there though, because Juju's got his TikTok account and he's good. He's good. He's getting paid by TikTok.
That's it. Corvette. All right, so
good and terrible.
all right, so let's go over to Nick. Ravens. What's the record going to be in 2021, and how your opponent's going to fare?
So I got us going 12-4. We get the Packers at home this year. We get the Chiefs at home, Colts at home, the Vikings at home. So all of our tough games on the schedule at home. So I got us going 12-4. I see the Browns finishing again at 10-6, and Steelers. It's all coming downhill, Eddie. I see you guys going
on and on.
Just for as a respect for the franchise and respect for the coaching staff and everything. I say you guys will finish 8-8, and Big Ben will just will cry again on the sideline after the season.
He's going to get a good sponsor from Kleenex.
Oh, all right. So Ray, I got to give you a rebuttal. Tell me how the Steelers are going to do in 2021 and how your opponents here are going to do.
I think when it comes to the Steelers, the Baltimore Ratbirds, they're the measuring stick. So we do try to keep up with them. I'm going to match and say 12-4. We'll win the division head-to-head.
What you drinking, man? You got a cup over there, though?
Just, hey,
I know it is.
Hey, as far as the Browns, look at, hey, you shot your wad, okay? Now you're shooting like next year. Next year, hey, look at for you all, it's going to be 7-9.
That's what was on his face. Those was in tears.
Hey, Bobby, 7-9. You heard from here, okay? Now, again, I look at, hey, Nick, 12-4. I could probably live with. I could probably slide with that, but I'm going to say 11-5 because look at. You're going to slip up on a game or two. And especially if Aaron Rodgers is back, okay, yeah. Oh, he's going to tear your asses up, believe it or not.
Sure ain't going to be Big Ben.
All right. So
I mean, we got to play the Packers next year.
All right, so everybody knows. We get that. So really what's happening is here, everybody has confidence in their squad, which I appreciate. It seems like a little bit of respect goes out to their peers, but maybe not as much to that third team, right? They're
Everybody's shitting on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Here's what I picked up on. Pittsburgh is on a downtrend, and nothing can stop that.
Listen, fellas, listen. We have been the big bully for so many years. We've been whipping the Browns' ass. I mean, it's at a point. Look here, Brown Stadium. That's Big Ben's practice squad. I mean, it's practice field. Okay, Baltimore. Hey, look here. Right there, but you know what? We always pull it out there, so I don't give a damn about that. Cincinnati. Oh my gosh! I mean,
we're not part of this. We're not part of this. We're not involved.
Listen.
Look,
we've dominated for so long. Okay, so we're bound to have a down year. So maybe not. But I'm gonna say right.
Down decade.
We're measuring up against Baltimore.
Steelers' big acquisition so far was Dwayne Haskins. That's a real good. I think you want him learning from Big Ben.
That's insurance. That's it. A little backup stuff. That's it.
You need to call Bob. You need to call Bobby and get some Progressive insurance because that ain't a good insurance plan.
Stay at home with Baker. We can hook you right up.
All right, guys. Hey, I feel like before we start throwing punches and things get too off the rails, one has the offer. Is that fair enough?
Yeah,
no doubt. The dog pound. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Comes through the dog pound. Remember that, guys.
All right, guys.
Damn mutt.
Damn mutt. He said damn mutt. Man, I got to tell you, I am enjoying these no-filter segments with the fans that we get to bring on here. And plus, we get to meet all kinds of people from around the country now. This is just Chad the Mark talking to you. We had some technical difficulties last night. I don't know if I had a flu bug or something that crept in. My buddies thought I had the Rona. I had to lay on the ground for a minute. And we lost some audio because something bad happened. And I promise you it was not alcohol-induced. I just felt like something bad came over me, so I'm trying to make amends here and get the show back where it needs to be. So on behalf of Canadian Biggie and Mr. Brown, gentlemen, I sincerely apologize, but I really appreciate them looking out. You guys don't know, these aren't just co-hosts. These are your boys. They got your back, and they were going to drag me out of the man cave and get me home somehow, but we got our feet back underneath us, and I don't know if it was blood sugar or what, man, but it sucks. So anybody dealing with anything like that in their life at all, I feel for you. That was one day was enough for me. But anyway, we had a fun show. We got to hear from some fans. We went back to Bucs Nation. We got the Steelers, Browns, and Ravens brought in. I'm a personal Bengals fan. I know I don't have a place in this conversation. I'm hoping after next year I can be a part of that. But as we recapped the show and we wound things down, what you guys missed out on that you don't get a chance to partake in is Mr. Brown talking about his wonderful Valentine's Day traditions he has. You might have to message him for more information there. And, of course, Biggie wanted to talk a little bit about Bob Kraft and massage parlors and things like that. But we're just not going to go there. Instead, we're going to count down the fact that baseball season is only 4 weeks away, almost a month, so it's just right around the corner. And with baseball, it means spring, and it means the stupid snow can get off the ground. And, we love talking football, but we love talking baseball too. And I'm sorry, NBA, you're kind of on the back burner right now. Like, nobody cares. And maybe March Madness will get us back into basketball a little bit. But until then, man, I'm just counting down the days until spring training starts and pitchers and catchers are reporting and we get the sunshine and the smell of the fresh cut grass and all that. Life will be good. So I'm hoping for the spring and summer of eternal optimism as we get out of this COVID mess and we keep moving forward. But I want to say I appreciate the guys that came on the show tonight. It was fantastic. So on behalf of my co-host, Mr. Brown and Canadian Biggie, this has been the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. You all have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. We'll see you back here next week.